Hello everybody. Thank you for joining me again for lesson 2 of our Visual Basic 2010 Express Edition tutorials. I hope you saved your example project from the first lesson because in this tutorial we're going to be building on top of it what we already have. So from your recent projects list, select example project or whatever you call your project. It will prepare your solution and you'll see form just as we left it when we saved it. So today we're going to be working with controls in the toolbox. Controls are anything that is meant to be clicked on and perform a specific function. So let's have the most basic control, a button. Now when you select a control to put in your form, you can either double click it and it will appear, or you can click and drag it and place it on the form. You can change the properties so that it looks like what you want it to. I think I'll change the back color to dark gray, and we'll change the text property to show message. And we resize it to make sure that it shows the entire string of text, and then we'll place it wherever we would like it. You can also use the dock property to choose where your button will sit. The top, fill the entire form, side, or the bottom. I'll choose the top, and that way it will be docked in the top. We can make it however big we want, but no matter what we do, it will now stay in the top part of our screen. We can change that property at any time, back to none, or back to top. So now, we're going to actually start giving our program some functionality, meaning telling the program what it's going to do when show message is clicked. So to begin viewing in the code editor, double click show message button, the show message button, and the Visual Basic code editor should appear. Now we're going to add a very basic bit of code so that when the user clicks on the show message button, a message box appears that says hello world. To do so, we type msg box parenthesis quotation hello world. Close the parentheses, and there's our first little bit of code. Now, what we're going to do next is debug the program, which means run it to see if it works, to see if it does what we want it to do. To debug, you can either hit this play icon, or you can go to debug and click start debugging. So here's our program. We click show message, and the message appears, hello world. And we click OK and it goes away. That is one of the most basic pieces of code you can add to any form, is message box hello world. Okay, so let's continue to add some more buttons and more functionality to our program. We'll go back to the design and add another button. We'll line this up with this button, but we won't dock it, and we'll make the back color, you can make it whatever you want, but just to demonstrate, I'm going to make it red. And we'll make the text for it to display show message internally. I don't know. Just something that whatever you want it to say. But now, we're also going to add, from our common controls, a label. And we'll drag the label down to the middle, and we'll make the text property nothing. And now what we'll do is we'll double click on button 2, show message internally, for more code. And we'll type label 1 dot text equals hello world. Now when we debug our program and we click show message internally, hello world appears where we put that label. So that's another piece of code that you can add. So that does it for this tutorial, and that also we are now done with the basic tutorials, and I will begin showing you more advanced things you can do in Visual Basic and more advanced pieces of code. So stay tuned, subscribe, rate, favorite, comment. Thanks for watching.